I wanted to do a quick video for all of the baby boomers that are out there right now. I'm a Gen Xer, so I relate very well to your generation. As I look back now that I'm older and know stuff, you guys were pretty sharp. You're a wealthy generation, made a lot of great decisions, and are in a position now where you're trying to figure out what to do with your real estate holdings. There's a lot of buying and selling going on within that generation, and I think it's great. I've had 20 years, nearly 20 years along the Grand Strand, helping people buy and sell condos. And over the last few years, I've noticed a couple of pitfalls that I see time and time again, that people that are further along, more mature buyers and sellers, the mistakes that can happen when they're not aware of them. So I want to share 3 pitfalls or 3 things to avoid. If you're in that baby boomer stage, or even maybe you're a Gen Xer or younger, this applies, but I'm seeing it more often with the more mature buyers and sellers. Number 1, you're getting ready to sell your home. Don't over improve the home for the potential new buyer. Listen, HGTV, the world of HGTV and all of the reality shows around design and flipping and all that stuff has given us this idea that the only people that are out there that are willing to pay a fair price for properties are the ones that have the latest trends in them. Well, the reality is trends only last about 3, maybe 4 years in most real estate markets. And if you think about it, that's by design. You've got the big box retailers, you've got all the design shows, all the people that are making hundreds of millions of dollars every year on creating new trends, so people go spend more money, more eyeballs on the television. So it makes sense, keep turning it over. There are plenty of people that come in and buy homes that are 5 or 6 years, the style is 5 or 6 years old. So if you just updated your kitchen and baths and flooring 4 to 5 years ago and you're thinking about selling, it doesn't mean you have to go get the newest trend right now today in order to sell the home. Be careful of over improving, because typically that's real cash. You're spending cash that's gone, whether or not you get a return from the potential or buyer or not. And since you don't know who the buyer is, it's really difficult to predict whether or not you're going to get a return. Number 2 mistake is not realizing that just putting properties online and putting in the MLS is what it takes to sell homes. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, you put a home in the MLS and it sold. Agents in the real estate industry were gatekeepers of the information. You had to go through an agent to be able to get the info about what was for sale in a home or in a town. Now you go through and all the information is on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop. And so you've got all the information that you need. Of course, an agent is going to help you avoid mistakes, help you find the right areas, help you find what you're looking for, maybe even find off-market properties. But the buyers primarily have got access to information. So when you list the home, just putting it on the MLS doesn't work. What works is having someone that has identified what's the best buyer audience for your property. Once you know the buyer audience, then you know who's most likely to buy. Then the next step is, does the agent have the ability to market to that buyer audience? Do they have a database of people that they know fit that criteria that you can market it to, versus just putting it out on the MLS? The third pitfall that I see happening time and time again is with investment properties. So you own some property, you've got some residual income, you've bought some investments over time, but maybe the investments are kind of underperforming. And so you're trying to figure out what to do with it. I see time and time again, more mature sellers holding properties, investments that are underperforming, waiting for the next run up in prices. And the reality is, the run ups, especially along our market, we've got thousands of short-term rentals, thousands of investment properties, and there are specific things that typically happen that cause those run-ups. And if you hit one of those and time it correctly, then that's great. But they're difficult to predict. And a lot of times when people are holding underperforming investments, if they just got their equity out, sat on the sidelines, or maybe put it into a better performing asset for a time, then they would actually see a better long-term return. So make sure, if you're looking as a mature seller, trying to figure out what you're doing long-term, consider those pitfalls before you make any move. Keep your money in your pocket. Don't over improve the house. Make sure that you understand what it takes to actually market homes, not just list them, and review your portfolio and determine whether or not is there something that's going to perform better than the assets that I currently have.